We shall assemble on the mountain. We shall assemble at the throne with humble hearts into his presence. We bring an offering of song, glory and honor and dominion unto the Lamb, unto the King. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. We sing the song of the
Hi, welcome to Verse of the Day. My name is Brandon Hathaway, and I am the preacher here at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky. I want to thank you for joining me today as we open up the Bible and study the Word of God. I thank you, and we are continuing again in the book of Exodus as we work our way through that. And we are in Exodus chapter 13. Exodus chapter 13. And as we look at this chapter, again, it's a little bit of a shorter one. And it's talking about, for the most part, the dedication of the firstborn being to the Lord. All firstborn, whether animal or children, the male children, were to be dedicated to God. And so, of course, with animals, you have sacrifices. With the firstborn of men, it's interesting in doing some looking into it, because that's what I had done. As you know, my mindset is, well, they were dedicated and serving as priests and this and that. But it's not long after this that we know that Aaron and Moses continue to serve as, but eventually it's said that Aaron and his sons, and then you go down the Levite descendants, that they are dedicated as priests. And so they probably had their parts in serving and assisting, helping with that. But anyways, I have chosen to look at verse 17 and 18. 17 and 18. This is the path in which they end up taking. And if you ever take the time to look at the map and you go, why didn't they go up here? Why didn't they go around the Red Sea, a shorter path, one that they wouldn't have to get blocked in by the sea? Well, here's why. It says, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. And says, so this way was closer, this way was near. For God said, let the people change their minds when they see war, and lest the people change their minds when they see war, and they see and return to Egypt. But God led the people around by the way of the wilderness toward the Red Sea, and the people of Israel went up out of the land of Egypt, equipped for battle. It even says they were equipped for battle. You know, that's another point to bring out. That as God tells them not to go this way, you can't see me, but I'm drawing on. I'm using my finger and drawing on the table here. But as God sent them one way and not the other, because he knew that they would become fearful and want to return, even though that some of them were prepared for battle. They had stuff for it, or equipped for battle, I guess, not necessarily prepared. And then he sends them down towards the Red Sea. And of course, we know, as we're reading ahead, at least if you've studied this before, most people know the story of the Red Sea. But they're going to get blocked in, and so they have nowhere to go. And what do? They do exactly what God expects them to do. They get fearful and say, "Oh, you brought us out to die here instead," and instead of having their faith in God. And so when he said that they would fear the Philistines and want to return back to Egypt, that's what they do there. That's what they do once they cross over. And so it's a continuous point that they get caught up in. But God led them here, and this is another miracle that he ends up using to show them that God is on their side. And so one other interesting point in this, and it'll be brought out again as we go through these lessons, chapters, is that it brings out here, verse 22, the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. That's how God had led the children of Israel. It's always a fun to try to picture that, how God was leading them. He was a cloud and then he was a fire at night, and leading them with that and showing that he was with them always. So good information there in chapter 13, and I thank you for joining me. I hope that you have a blessed day today, and if the Lord wills, I will talk to you later.